Are you ready to fly into the future with James Bond? You know that your competition doesn't want you to fly into the future. They are pursuing you. They are trying to make you obsolete. Can you feel that? As a British MI6 agent, James Bond thrives in a culture that rewards creativity, innovation, and getting the job done. Now, you may be thinking, well, it's easy for James Bond to get the upper hand in competitive situations. He has all those cool gizmos and gadgets that Q makes for him. Plus, he has autonomy. He can use his individual creativity and freedom to invent those awesome, on-the-spot, solutions to these sticky situations. What is the culture like in your organization? Are you rewarded for Q-like innovative ideas and products? Do you have the freedom and the autonomy to invent on-the-spot solutions to get you out of competitive situations? And who is the competition? You may be surprised to know that it is yourself. You had a great idea, and now you need a new one, fast. So today we're here to talk about some tips and techniques that will help you be just as brave as James Bond. We're here to help you fly off that cliff of obsolescence and into the future. We're going to give you some strategies so that you can analyze your products and your services, and so that you can innovate, so that you can rise above your competition. As competition increases, and as obsolescence petrifies your products and services, the need for creative thinking increases exponentially. So we're here today to help you think creatively so you can innovate tomorrow and rise above your competition. You ready to get started? Okay, visualize for me. Visualize that you're in an airplane. Now, it's not Air Force One, and it's not that luxury jetliner that brought you here, the kind that gives you free water, 6 peanuts, and explicit instructions on how to buckle your seatbelt. No, we're in an Army cargo plane. And we're not flying over the United States, but we're flying over the friendly skies of Fort Benning in warm Columbus, Georgia, home of the 101st Airborne. Now, you and I are up in this plane, and we're here to watch how the raw recruits, these new paratroopers, how they approach the open door of opportunity to make their first jump. Now, personally, I don't know why. Anyone would want to leave a perfectly safe airplane that's, 2,500 feet in the air and going like 150 miles per hour. I mean, that's a mystery to me. And it is to anyone unless you're the jump master or a psychologist. So you can view 2 types of raw recruits as you see them approach this open door of opportunity. The first type of raw recruit approaches the open door of opportunity doing the hesitation step. And when he gets to that open door of opportunity, he places his hands on the inside of the plane where he has been told not to put them. And he looks down. What does this body language tell you? He's petrified with fear, right? And he's wondering where James Bond's stuntman is. So he's here, looking down, petrified with fear. How does he usually use the airplane? He's usually kicked out by the jump master. Now, after observing a couple of these get kicked out, because getting kicked out isn't optimal, it increases the chances that your body might hit the plane. It increases the chances that your chute will not open properly, and you'll have to use your backup chute. And it increases the chances that you will make kind of a bumpy landing when you land down. So this is not optimal. So after seeing a couple of these get kicked out, you see a brand new type of raw recruit. And this raw recruit is confident. This raw recruit is determined to leave the plane on their own power. They walk to that door of opportunity and they put their hands on the outside. They find a cloud for a goal. At the count, they give a giant leap. They do the proper count. They pull the ripcord, and they have an absolutely phenomenal experience landing down in the future. The plane is the past. The future is the ground. Now, did you visualize that? Did you see the process there? Are you ready to run right out to go to your nearest skydiving provider for your first jump? Well, if you do, find one that teaches you how to pack your own parachute. My Uncle Jethro always packed his own parachute. He said it was a symbol of his self-reliance and his determination to take control of his own life. And he was always a mentor to me. He gave me a little bit of advice about mines and parachutes. He said, "Karla, your mind is like a parachute. It works better if it's open." Now, is your mind open today? Because we're going to give you some ideas. We want you to be able to innovate your products and services. So I hope your mind is open. He gave me another little bit of advice that I've remembered as I have aged. He said, "Karla, minds are like parachutes. If you lose yours, it doesn't mean you can use mine." There was one young raw recruit who had done all the necessary training. He knew how to hold his body. He knew how to fly through the air. He knew how to roll when he got to the ground. And he had been told there would be a truck on the ground to pick him up. So he goes to that open door of opportunity with confidence. He puts those hands on the outside. He finds his friendly cloud for a goal. At the count, he gives a giant leap. He does the proper count. He pulls the ripcord, and nothing happens. Still free falling. He jerks on that, falling like a rock. He mutters, "Oh, well, this is the Army. There probably won't be a truck down there to pick me up either." Now, this door of opportunity is open every single day for you and for me to walk through. The question is, do we do it? Do we walk through this open door of opportunity? Or do we try to stay on the inside of the airplane? If we stay on the inside of the airplane, we're using yesterday's ideas, and we are using the lazy side of the brain. Now, my Aunt Betty, she's going to petrify right there in her lazy boy. She tells me that she hates doing nothing because she never knows when she's done. And she has two rules. Number one, if it's more than 5 feet away from my remote control, it's basically unnecessary. Her second rule is stay 5 feet away if the Kardashians are on. I worked in one organization where Ms. Harriman was over the copy shop. Good luck getting anything copied. She had a nice little cot in the back room, and it was right there behind the pink and the blue and the yellow and the goldenrod paper. And she petrified every morning and afternoon with a nice little nap. I secretly wondered what her night job was. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking to a manager in an international company. And I, was talking to him about change, the change process and innovation. And he said, we really need to support our employees through their change process. We have change initiatives that are 3 or 4 years into, and we're not done. I was aghast. 3 or 4 years into a change initiative, and you're not done? Think about that for a minute. Do you think they're already becoming obsolete? What if you were using ideas and things that were 3 or 4 years old? How would your next meeting be? How would your next convention be if you didn't update things that are going on? See, you may not know that an organization is petrifying, right? Same address, 817 Main Street. But unless those people are coming to work every single day and wanting to create something new, wanting to innovate, wanting to be on the cutting edge, they are becoming obsolete and they are petrifying. Now, I don't know how many of you like Bob Dylan's music, but he has a philosophical statement that I really love. He said, "He who is not busy being born is busy dying." Do you catch that? He who is not busy being born, busy regenerating themselves, giving new birth to ideas, they're busy dying. So today, we want you to get the process down. We want you to start the process of changing, of innovating your products and services so you can rise above your competition. This represents how much you know. We know a lot, don't we? We've been around many, many years. In fact, I was just cleaning out my drawer, and I'm not sure why these were in this drawer. Tucked in the back, in a file folder, I found some carbon papers. Now, I know a lot about working with carbon papers from many, many years ago. If you don't know what carbon paper is, then kind of look at the people that are shaking their heads, and they'll tell you with the break, okay? But this represents everything that we know. This represents the 21st century. Now, you can see that the 21st century isn't really far into it yet, okay? So it's not the full glass. But there's a lot of things that we have to learn about our new decade and our 21st century. So here we are with everything we know, dating clear back to carbon paper, and here's the 21st century. It's filling us up, right? And all of a sudden, what's happening? We can't hold much, right? So my point to you is that to really engage in the 21st century, we have to let go a little bit. We have to unlearn some of the things and try to relearn how to do things. Has social media taught us that? Yeah, social media is a whole new marketing ballgame. And we have to learn how to do that so that we have to unlearn some of the things we knew. And by the way, is it not hard to unlearn some of the things we do? If I'm not careful, I get up in the morning and I start marketing the way I did 10 or 20 years ago. I have to consciously make a choice to recalibrate my brain and to think about how to do things differently. So please remember that today, have your mind open like the parachute and think about what you have to unlearn so that we can rise above our competition in the 21st century.
I thought it was a very entertaining session. Gave you a different perspective on how to look at things with some good tracking points to how do you do this back in your office.
Yeah, and I thought it was a great session too. Very much making you think outside the box and look at doing things in a different way, which is always a great thing about coming to PCMA. You actually start thinking in a different way, and can take that back to your office and implement it when you get back. So it's good.
Great, that was awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Oh, the speaker was very engaging. She really held my attention, and I really liked her voice. Thought she had a great voice.
I'm Alethea Gadsden with the National Cable and Telecommunications Association in Washington, D.C. I just attended this wonderful session on innovation. We got great information on reinventing ourselves and how important it is to step outside of the box and really kind of consider yourself as a flight with a parachute, having a safety net once you've already tried to recreate the ideas within your organization. I've got a lot of great information to take back to the association and to innovate and help my staff move to the next level.